Hello, my beautiful queens and kings. What if part of your healing had nothing to do with mindset and everything to do with what you're eating? We talk a lot about spiritual growth, trauma healing, and breaking toxic cycles, but we don't talk enough about how foods affect your energy, your clarity, and your emotional stability. Today, I want to talk to you about high vibrational foods and why they have a profound impact on your overall life. So, what does high vibrational actually mean? When people hear high vibrational foods, it can sound mystical, but in practical terms, it simply means foods that are alive and minimally processed. Fresh fruits, vegetables, leafy greens, nuts, and seeds, whole natural ingredients. These foods carry nutrients your body recognizes. Highly processed foods, excess sugar, and artificial ingredients can increase inflammation, disrupt hormones, and spike blood sugar, which directly affects mood and energy. I, for the longest time, thought it was because I was just in a toxic cycle, which even that toxic cycle, when I was a child, I didn't understand. I knew something was off, but I didn't even know like it was toxic. I didn't know what it was. And I just thought it was because of that. I had no idea that on top of that, the foods that I was eating was having an effect on me as well. So, when we talk about raising your vibration, we're also talking about stabilizing your nervous system, and that's science. So, I know a lot of times it can seem a little mystical and a little woo woo and here and there, but it's like, no, these things are backed up by science as well. So, the gut brain health connection. Your gut and your brain are deeply connected. In fact, a large percentage of serotonin, the chemical that affects mood, is produced in the gut. When your digestion is off, your mood can be off. When your blood sugar crashes, anxiety can increase. When your body is inflamed, your mind can feel foggy or overwhelmed. So, if you're healing from trauma, leaving toxic environments, or trying to regulate your emotions, food matters more than you think. Eating cleaner doesn't just change your body, it changes your emotional baseline. Even if you've done a lot of the healing work and you still feel foggy, you still don't have the energy that you're supposed to have, start looking at the foods that you're ingesting. And then, of course, we have to add in the spiritual layer. Now, here's the deeper layer. When you choose nourishing foods, you're not just feeding your body, you're reinforcing self respect. You're telling yourself, I'm worth taking care of. And that shift alone can raise your frequency. High vibrational eating isn't about restriction or perfection, it's about alignment. And that was a huge one for me because I felt like, and you've probably been there too. Many times you try to be on diets or trying to eat better, and you feel like you're restricting yourself from eating the foods that you really like. And it's not about that. Once you start putting in, getting over those, for me, for a lot of people, it was like the first 3 days. Once you get over those first 3 days at hump, you will naturally stop craving the foods that your body really doesn't want, that's not aligned with you. You'll start craving clarity instead of chaos, and energy instead of numbness, stability instead of spikes. And over time, that discipline spills into other areas of your life. Your thoughts sharpen, your intuition strengthens, your confidence grows because your body and spirit are no longer fighting each other. So, how do you start? You don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. That is what got me messed up. Is I'd get so much motivation and watching all of these videos and like, well, hey, they're human. I could do, and I'm human. I could do it too. And so overnight, it's just like, oh, I'm just throwing this away, throwing this. It didn't work for me. Because then the next day, I'd be like, dang it, I threw all that stuff away, and I want this and I want that, and now my my hunger is telling me that I want this and I want that. And it's like, even though that really wasn't what it was just because I had conditioned my body that way. I was craving things that I threw out, and then I would beat myself up because of that. So start with one small shift. Add one whole food to your day, drink more water, and reduce one processed snack. Small consistency creates momentum. Healing isn't just therapy, it's lifestyle, it's daily decisions. So remember, if you're rebuilding your life, breaking trauma bonds, or stepping into a higher version of yourself, don't ignore what you're feeding your body. Sometimes the transformation you're asking for starts with what's on your plate. And if this resonated with you, I've linked a free guide in the description that expands on what we talked about today. And as always, my loves, I love you and the universe loves you.